Today on the Alcohol-Free RV, got a camera install. Decided to get a backup camera so that we can see what's going on behind us. It's just a white box, but the one we chose is wired because I don't trust the reliability of wireless cameras. I had one on a prior camper. Actually, I tried several different brands of wireless and they didn't work on even a 18-foot box travel trailer. So I bought this particular camera for that travel trailer. I liked it a lot, so I'm going to install it on our fifth wheel. It is a full color camera and it's powered by the unit in the truck. It's wired, so I don't have to worry about connectivity issues. Inside the box, it has a 7-inch LCD monitor and a connector that's going to connect to the wires that go out towards the back of the truck. And then we have the actual camera unit itself. It's got about a 6-foot, I think, pigtail. Various brackets and things to assist in the installation. This one actually comes with a remote control as well. A couple of brackets to mount the cable ends, a sun shield that goes over the camera itself. There's a set of mounting screws and whatnot. There's a 20-meter cable that goes on the trailer side, and it does have a weatherproof seal on it and a screw-tight connection, so it's going to keep the weather out. And then on the other end, this is the tongue end of the trailer. It has a more of an aircraft style connection, positive closure with a spring latch, so you can easily connect and disconnect your truck from your trailer. The truck side is kind of similar. It's a shorter length though. This one's 8 meters, and that's what plugs into the camera, the monitor side itself. And then to create a tension release, there's a spring coil cable that goes between the cables that are mounted permanently to the truck and the trailer. And here's kind of the wiring harness on the truck side. It has the ability to have 3 different cameras. We're only going to be using the one on the very back of the camper, so I believe it's going to be the blue connection. I could be wrong. We'll make sure we hook that up right. And then finally a mounting post for the monitor side on, this will attach to the dash on the truck side. So those are all the parts. We're going to go ahead and get started putting this thing on. And before I get to installing all the wires onto the camper and into the truck, I've gone ahead and just hooked all the cables together, and I'm just trying to verify that the thing works. And if I grab the camera, get a little bit of glare here, but we can see that yes, indeed, the camera works. Right here is a section of frame rail. Looks like I can see light all the way at the end of it, so I'm going to try to run it through there. I don't know if that's going to be possible, but I think that's going to be a good place to try to run it. That'll protect this thin wire from being damaged while we're on the road. Well, I don't own a fish tape. I do have a long, flexible piece of metal. You might have one too. Measuring tape. So I was able to push the measuring tape through this 2x2 boxed piece of the frame, and so I'm going to attach this, and hopefully I'll be able to zip it all the way out. So we're getting down to the last couple of feet here. Hopefully there we go. I'll be darned, that worked. Alright. I guess I'm going to pull enough through to get me to the top of the back of the rig. So the wire is coming out of the back of the box frame here, and that leaves it a little bit exposed underneath the last few feet. So I'm going to see if I can get it to come out the coroplast back here. Set up a little fish teeth to get the cable to the back. And there we go. Alright, I'm gonna disconnect all my measuring tape, fish tapes, and start running up the back of the camper. The box frame ends right here because we have a drop frame. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to run the cable through here. This is the finished piece that covers the drop frame. Go down there and then come up in the propane storage unit on the street side. Using my measuring tape, fish tape again, I'll just pull the cord right through. I've just got a zip tie around the flex loom, and I'm going to screw this in place so that the flex loom can't move. Self-tapping screws are your friend. So now as I get the camera mounted in the back, the flex loom is going to stay in place and it'll protect the wire, because I will have to pull back some slack. From a centering standpoint, I think either on the tip of the hitch here or up under the nose, the very front edge of the nose is going to be the best place to mount the connector. That way, regardless of which way we're turning, we're going to be a pretty similar distance to wherever I mount the connection in the back of the truck. So I'm going to try to pull down some of the plastic that creates the nose and get it to come down out here where all the rest of the electrical connections, all the rest of the electrical cables go. There we have it. We can find a spot to mount it up here. So the aircraft connector that comes on the forward end of the cable needs a place to mount. So they provided these small brackets. I'm going to use some self-tapping screws, and then I'll be able to connect that to the bracket like so. The self-tapping screws are going to drill straight into the pin box. So that's just going to be the best one for me. So to attach this, there's two Phillips head screws with nuts on the back and a rubber seal in case you're going into something that's not outside. have a small crescent wrench. Snug that down. There we go. I'm gonna pull the excess cord back up into the storage compartment. The battery died while I was working, and I didn't really realize it, so I kept working, finished buttoning up pretty much most of the work. I've got the aircraft connector securely mounted to the hitch, and I also put a couple of zip ties around the back end of it because it was kind of wobbly, so that's going to secure it. I'm going to wrap the cable coming up all the way to where it disappears underneath the plastic. I'm going to wrap that with wire loom so that it's protected. Coming around, the wire comes down from up there, and I have it zip tied to a couple of the vertical posts, and then it comes down out here, and then I coiled up the wire and just kind of zip tied it in place. I do have it screwed down right there so that it's not going to fall out. And then I also screwed down this section. So this is the wire loom that protects it underneath the kind of skirt area. So the wire loom runs behind here all the way back, then picks up right here, and I've got it screwed into the frame so it's not going anywhere. And I mean, it just kind of hangs in there, but I think it'll be okay. Once it disappears into this frame rail, which is only a short section, I put it up underneath the plastic belly liner and then back into the frame rail here. Both of these sections where it enters the box frame, I am going to put some wire loom there to protect it so that it doesn't rub and scuff that up and cause a problem. It runs through that frame rail all the way back, nearly 20 feet. And it comes out right there. Out of that, that's the other end of the frame rail. And then I have it going up into the plastic and coming out back here. I am going to spray foam all these sections where I had to take some of the spray foam off. I want to get that nice and sealed. So then it comes up the corner, and I used, these are stick-on squares designed to put zip ties on, but I also screwed them in. So I drilled and used some 1.5 inch number 8 screws all the way up, and then I ran it across the top, and then I mounted the camera. Now, there's a Furrion bracket on the back of this camper, but it's hiding behind the top step of the ladder, so rendered it pretty much unusable. So I was gonna mount the new camera right there. I chose to move it down a little bit, and then when we're driving around, we'll take this back ladder off. It disconnects really easy with a couple of spring clips, and so we'll store that, and that'll prevent any unauthorized access to our roof, and it'll give us a clear view with that camera. Now, we have the camera aligned so that it comes straight to the bumper. You can see, just barely see the bumper, so we can see if there's any kids or anything while we're trying to back up. And I'm going to back up here. And if I'm looking in the camera from the screen, the camera is able to see all the way back here. So that's a good 20-25 feet. I think that'll provide a plenty good enough view of what's behind us, so that as we're changing lanes, and it basically was backed up all the way to those trees there, that's going to give us a nice view of anything that's approaching from behind, so that if we're switching lanes, we can see what's going on. So that's the end, pretty much, of the camera install. You know, short of those couple of pieces of wire loom where it enters and exits, goes around metal pieces, but not a bad day's work. Thanks for watching this segment of the RVS camera install. Next time, I'll have the installation of the truck side. So if you want to see that, why don't you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and click that little bell icon so you get notification. When that video comes out, we'll be installing the cabling from the bed of the truck up to the dash, and installing the video monitor so that we can see what's behind us on the road. For now, I'm Todd from the Alcohol Free RV, where we do mods, upgrades, we have great adventures, and do even more repairs on the road.